Hey guys, I'm Risha.
I'm Ibrahima.
And we're the Mandinka Family.
Guys.
And today we have the awesome, beautiful, happy companion with us today. We're going to be doing an interview with him, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
You be my queen, you be my skin saver. I be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. You be my queen, you be my screen saver. I be a king, no be cinema. Diamond, mineral, situation critical. Sun kiss your body, glitter, glitter.
All right, guys, so as we mentioned, we have the THC here with us today. If you can go ahead and introduce yourself, who you are, where you from.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum, peace be upon you, peace and blessings, fam. You know what I'm talking about. But my east side is that from Long Beach, California. If you're from Long Beach, come home, come home, come home. To the Gambia, Africa, wherever you want to come. Yeah, I'm from Long Beach, California, born and raised. With the high school with Snoop Dogg, twins, Warren G, and all them. Warren G didn't go to the same high school, but I knew of him and stuff. Went to the military, did a lot of things, travel around the world, studied Arabic, Swahili. I've been to Africa several times prior to coming to the Gambia. My YouTube channel is The Happy Companion African Repat TV. I also have another channel called The Happy Companion Islamic Thought Show. So I have two channels going on. I'm out here in the Gambia. Been here about a year. Loving it. It's like a homecoming for me. I learned a lot about who I am and myself. You know, I have family in Texas, Louisiana. I got Creole. I did several DNA tests. I'm African, you know what I'm saying? I'm back home and hooked up with the Mandinka family. I'm glad that I was able to communicate with them and do this video. You know, I'm really happy.
Absolutely, and thank you so much, for giving us your time today.
Sure.
So we want to know, in the diaspora and some people who may not know you, have you always been Muslim? And if not, like, what was your journey to becoming who you are today?
Whoa, that's a good question. In Islam, we believe every mankind is born a Muslim, and then we change later on. So to other faiths, depending on your environment. But I reverted back to Islam in the early 90s, about 27 years ago. After reading Alex Haley book by Roots by Alex Haley, Kuta Kente, the Holy Quran. I read Malcolm X autobiography, and I said, wow. I started studying African history. I found out that my ancestors were Muslims, and so I said, why am I practicing a faith that's different? That doesn't teach that. And I'm not talking about any faith in a negative way, but I just said I got tired of. When I was even in school, Sunday school, I look at the pictures of, they had all the prophets, they have Jesus, they have him as Caucasian, but he's not. He's from a certain area, and it's not blonde hair, blue eyes. So I started looking at that. So at an early age, I looked at that. It's not the faith that's wrong, it's just the images that I didn't like, you know what I'm saying? So I respect everybody's faith, y'all know that. So I said my journey was, so I started learning knowledge of self. I started reading and studying more about Africa, started studying more about Islam, and I felt like it was a natural way of life for me. It made me feel, it completed my life. The 5 daily prayers, the fasting, the charity, the Hajj, which I've been on, all those, the pillars of Islam, it really enlightened me. And so I actually started learning a different language. I started learning Arabic, which is Afro-Asiatic, Afro-Semitic language. So Semitic language, that's what it is. That's what it is. I looked it up. So, because the Arabian Peninsula is actually part of Africa. Yes, the Red Sea is divided, so it's the Afro-Asiatic language. So I started studying Arabic, and so it kind of made me a better person. I had a better way to direct myself, to make myself believe there's a higher being than me, and then as long as I submit to Him, which is not a He is a man, you know what I'm saying, a Him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah glory to Him, then I'll be able to be a better person. So that's what helped me.
Okay, like being an American, living in America for several years, what's the difference, being a Muslim in America and being a Muslim in the Gambia?
Okay, well, being a Muslim in America, you have a lot of, I'll be real with you, you have a lot of discrimination upon us. Racism, I encountered it. I was in the military, even in my government job, I was a lot of times being harassed because of my name. You know, I changed my name 27 years ago after I declared my faith. And then it's like the freedom isn't there. However, in Long Beach, LA area, there's like 2 mosques in Long Beach. And then all over California, you know, LA area, you can literally, every prayer time, you can find a mosque to pray in. So that's a blessing. But it's just the work environment, working in there. When you want to pray, you want to accomplish your the obligatory prayers a day. It's frowned upon. You know, people don't understand it. So there's not a lot of cultural, like, religious awareness. And I think it happened after 9/11, and it happened after the George Floyd lynching. It happened after that. People started becoming aware. Even in my job, there was some training that was going on. So here, I see that, hey, it's time to pray. You see people just doing the wudu in the garden. What do you call it? Gardener, the water spout. But they're doing the wudu on the street. They do the prayer right in front of their workspace. Nobody's questioning them. I feel like it's an easier way to practice, and it's like nobody. I mean, I feel like I came home. When I came home, I'm on hijra. Hijra means migration from a place where you've been persecuted as a Muslim to a place that where you can practice Islam without any persecution. And so that's what I'm on. And so I feel like it's more freedom here for me to pray. You know.
Definitely. So you do feel like your spirituality with Allah, or your relationship with Allah, has definitely grown since being here, as opposed to America.
I think it kind of both because I know that it's a struggle to do something, and people trying to make me not do something that I know is good for me. Actually, I felt stronger in California. I felt about the same. I felt stronger in the plantation. You know, because I was persecuted and not being able to do it, so it kind of strengthened me to be stronger in my faith. Now I'm kind of like on a retreat to a certain extent. I'm like, I went through the punishment, I went through the damage, I went through the struggle. Now I got my reward to be in a Muslim country and to be able to practice my faith. So I felt like, yeah, spiritually I am stronger because I got the rewards and blessings. I got the ajar, it means the reward. So for my struggle, and I feel like I'm more of an African man too. I'm more of a black man. I'm an African man here. I don't have nobody over me. You know, shot calling. You know, I call my own shots. I'm my own business. I do what I want to do. But yeah, I think it's about hand in hand. You know, I feel less stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, also most people would say, like if they come to Africa, they would be like, I don't feel African in Africa. Yeah. Like, do you feel African when you got here?
Oh yeah. Without a doubt, I feel more African here. I feel like I learned a lot of things about myself and my culture that was lost or was taken from me. I'm learning Fulani right now. I was learning Wolof, but I decided to learn Fulani more right now. And I'm taking back a lot of things that was taken from us. And so, yeah, I feel like more of an African man, because I am an African who happened to be born in America.
Right.
That's all it is. For you to ask her, I'm telling you right now, you are Africans born outside of Africa.
Yes,
okay, you are. And it's no doubt about it. When you come here and you visit different countries, you will see that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all those negativity, the negative stereotypes, the media and stuff like that try to make Africa look so down and negative. Don't pay no attention to that. Come here and see for yourself.
Absolutely. Now, me and my husband, as well as other Gambians, I've had a conversation about the FOI, which is Fruit of Islam, the NOI, which is Nation of Islam, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Farrakhan. He never heard of them, until I had that conversation with him. So can you kind of explain to Gambians and just the people on the continent, the Africans on the continent, what the FOI and NOI is about?
Okay. I don't follow, I don't practice that. I'm a Sunni Muslim. I follow the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So I practice that faith of my African ancestors. But with the Nation of Islam, it's NOI, and you got the Fruit of Islam, which is the men. And I forgot the name of the sisters, but the Fruit of Islam, those are the men, the security of the Nation of Islam. They provide protection for, doing the lectures and stuff, and the protection for the leaders. And they're like a man type of class. So my difference with them is that I heard that they're learning how to do the salat correctly, that they're studying Arabic, that they do the 5 times prayer 5 times a day. They used to just put their feet at a 45-degree angle and put their hands like that and stand up and pray the 5 times a day. But their prayer. But now they actually doing the ruka and suja. They're doing that, and so. But the only thing is that they believe that Elijah Muhammad was actually Prophet Muhammad in the Quran, which is not true. And I say that, and also that Farad Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad is Allah in the flesh or something like that. So I don't know if they changed those ideas or the ideology or something, but that's not what we practice in Islam. Like I said, it's not what we practice. However, when they talk about the black man struggle, black woman struggle, they own it with that, you know. And so that's the reason why they're kind of hated. It's because they speak in the truth, and the truth of how we've been oppressed and how we treat each other. And I think it's a good place if you think about it. If you think about it, as far as if you learn about Islam and you're African American, African diaspora, you can feel more positive about yourself being a black man or a black woman. Okay, with their dietary standards, you know, they don't eat pork. They in pretty good physical shape. They do exercises. I think the Food of Islam, they do exercise. They run. They lift weights. You know, they do a lot of good things. It's very good for the black community, and so they give confidence in the black man, black woman, black child. So that's what, you know, shout out to the NOI. NOI. I'm sorry, I have no problem with you guys. But I just don't practice the faith. You know, I practice my faith.
Okay, like living in Gambia here, like no one like in the street you will be here, you know, that the African go in the prayers, you know what I'm saying? People probably, like you said, you know, practicing wudu. You know what I'm saying? In the state, like, do you really think, like, you know, you see things like that and that reminds you of, you know, hey, it's time for you to go and pray?
Yeah, you know, when you hear them call to prayer, but you don't really hear it in the States. You know, you can hear church bell ringing, boom, 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 boom. But they're having a dawn call. That's like a big issue. But I feel like when you hear the adhan, it does touch your heart. But I said Islam is practiced. It's so much easier to practice here than in the States. So you can't take it for granted. You still got to be on the hop. You still got to be on the straight path. You still got to be focused on the deen, because you can take it for granted because it's easier here now. And I see a lot of people sometimes they take it for granted. It's like, hey, it's just part of the ritual, part of life. But in the plantation, that's what I call it. We are struggling. It's a life. We're struggling for our life to actually do our prayers. You know what I'm saying? We are facing persecution if you do your prayers. Or what are you doing? You've been going too long. Well, somebody can take a cigarette break for 10 minutes. So that's not an issue. Okay, but when you want to make a prayer, that's like, oh, is he going to do some damage? Is he going to plant some type of attack or something? Ridiculous things like that. You know, Islam is peace, and I practice peace. You know, did I answer your question, brother?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Do you think that polygamy can be a solution for the black diasporan community that have single parent households?
Ask my wives. Okay, but this way, you know what? I think it is because, and a lot of times, I think in even Islam, it is permissible for that, because if a sister does not have a husband and she needs to be maintained and taken care of, and in most countries, you don't have handouts, you don't have a county check, welfare check that say, you know, hey, well, you know, most sisters got. A lot of sisters got jobs, and some of them don't, and they're raising their kids all by themselves. Why? Because the black man is in prison, black man is dead, black man is on jail a lot of times, and we are struggling mentally to get back on track. You know what I'm saying? To get back on that plateau where, you know, to that leadership and that providing level. So if you have a sister that's in need, I've been offered when I was in the States to be when I was married at that time, that a sister, one of the brothers in the mosque approached me because I was going there several times, and he asked me, hey, there's a sister here, she wants to be the second wife. You know, I said, well, I don't know, you gotta ask the one right here. For some reason they saw me, and I don't even look at them. You know, I just go to the mosque, but they see you from the mosque. The ladies always look at, you know, what's going on over there. But it's an answer because, you know, it'd be a solution to provide for a sister. Because remember, a man must be able to provide for additional wife if he wants one. Not because, oh, I want a second wife. No, you have to be able to provide for both of them, or 3 of them, or 4, whatever, and treat them all equally. If you can't do that, don't even bother with it. But if the case that a brother can do that, and their sisters need to be maintained and taken care of, and the kids are suffering because of the absence of the black man, I think that would be it would work as long as it's done in the correct manner. You know, it's not a physical, sexual thing. It's a religious and spiritual thing, and it's also an agreement to protect the women, the sisters who are involved. Because a lot of sisters, sometimes they're in the business, they're running, you know, trying to take care of business, taking care of things, and then before they get to a certain age, and it's tough for them to get married. You know, it's like, you know, so that's what happens.
Yeah, and also like talking about polygamy, here we say like in Islam, it's okay to marry more than one wife.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know, like in other religions, it's not okay, like Christianity and others. You know, it's not okay to marry more than one wife. Okay, especially in the West, they would say, like, you know, marrying more than one wife, like, okay, like, do you want to have, you know, excuse my language, do you want to have sex with all these people, stuff like that. But the thing is, okay, here, our religious asks us to have more than one wife. But you know, when you come to Christianity or in the West, there are most of the religions that they practice, they might not have second wife, but they will have, you know, side chicks around, you know,
yes,
around the corners. Like that's like having a second wife or third wife, because they do have more than 1 to 2 or 3, you know, girlfriends apart from your wife. So, you know what I'm saying, for someone to practice, you know, polygamy, like I see nothing wrong with that. It is their faith. If you don't have the faith that they have, you know, that means, you know, you don't want to believe in it. But you know, the faith that and Islam has, it has rules. Like my brother says here, like if you can't take care of them, like, you know, you don't need to, you know, like, you know, look for more than one wife. But if you can take care of them, you know what I'm saying, why not?
It's true. And I can say, I'm going to add to that because, you know, Islam was taken from us for a reason when we got in slavery, because we were very strong. They didn't want to see that connectivity, the connection between, you know, the strength of we praying in the line, we taking time out to pray 5 times a day when you're supposed to be picking cotton, tobacco, and sugarcane. You know what I'm saying? So when we come to, we were very rebellious when the Spanish and Portuguese took us, and then you know, I mentioned it on my Islamic thought show, and how our ancestors were Muslims, so they just kind of took that away from us. And then when we come back, we can see that that it would work. The polygamy will work if you do it right. You got the Mormons in the States; they practice it. They're allowed to practice it, but most of the time it's not practiced. But in Christianity, some Christians in Africa, they actually practice it. So it's actually, even in Kenya, I believe in South Africa, I believe in certain places. But in America, it's a Eurocentric type version of it, so they don't want that to happen. They want it seems like they want the black woman to struggle and not to have a man to maintain them. And so if you have a strong man, financially, spiritually, and who can do it, I think it's a good way of life. That's why I think.
So you guys heard it here. That could be a solution to the diaspora community. You guys comment below. Tell us your thoughts on that. That's an interesting, thought-provoking, you know, statement.
Okay. Also, bro, you know, I also want to experience, you know, like, you know, what's talked about in the state, you know, like, you know, me being a Muslim, like, what advice, you know, do you think you want to give me, you know, like, you know, when it comes to me moving to America, not moving there, just to experience there.
Okay, as a Muslim brother in Africa going to
as
America.
as a Muslim and an African.
Brother, I would say have a good sheikh, somebody who could advise you all the time. As soon as you get there, go into a Muslim community right away to get to know the people there, so that way you don't lose touch. Because a lot of brothers and sisters out there, man, we lost. Okay, before I found Islam, I was lost. You know what I'm saying? I was out there doing all kinds of, I was hardcore womanized and this and that. I mentioned that, you know what I'm saying, to you all. And so when I found Islam, I found out that a better way of life for me. And I think that African brothers from the continent, there's gonna be a lot of temptations. There's gonna be a lot of things there, and so you have to really be strong on your haqq. You gotta be on the truth, on the deen, on the Islam, on the religion. And so just if you know some African brothers there, families there that are Gambians, and they're strong into the religion, reach out to them when you get to the
plantation.
When you get to the state plantation, man, I can't get no better. I mean, that's real.
What it is.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. And I say right now is that that's my advice, bro. Just try to communicate with as much Gambians and Africans, and find a mosque there. That's what I do. When I was in whatever state I moved in, wherever city I was in the plantation, I would go ahead and make sure there's a mosque that I know right away that I can go to, because it'll keep you grounded. As soon as you stay from the mosque, because the man, we got to go to the mosque, we should be praying to the mosque. As soon as you step away from there, you start to get lazy, you start to lose your confidence in it, you start to get distracted, and you don't feel no need. You say, oh, I'm free. And even the brothers from the KSA, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Arabian Gulf and all that, sometimes they're in an environment that they practice the religion all the time. You hear the prayer call. When you get to this plantation, you're not going to hear a prayer call unless you got it on your phone, unless you got it somewhere in your house speaker or something like that. So that's my suggestion. Just bring whatever you can with you, and teach people, African and diaspora and American brothers who are new to the deen, and teach them, hey, this is part of Africa. And I would say make dawah too, dawah. Give religious talk to the non-Muslims and the Muslims, and try to invite them to the religion, especially African Americans, because when they hear African brothers who look like them coming to the States, and they see, oh, this brother, he look like me, he's a Muslim. Okay, and you say, well, your ancestors were Muslims. That's how I used to give the dawah, to our people. So that's my suggestion.
All right, my brother. Another question that I want to ask you is, your journey, going to Mecca. How's that first time?
Oh, okay. Yeah, when I first reverted to Islam, one of the 5 pillars of Islam is to go to Hajj if you can afford it. Once in a lifetime if you can afford it. So I would always think about the Kaaba. When I'm praying, you pray the direction of the Kaaba in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. So I said, I gotta do it. So every year, I think it was could have been about 11 years after I took my Shahada, my declaration of faith in Islam. I was watching, it was during Ramadan, I was watching a Muslim brother doing a tawaf. It's called tawaf. He circled the Kaaba 7 times. And when he finished, he went up and he had his 2-piece ihram cloth. And then he hugged the Kaaba. And he started crying. So at that time I made niyyah. Niyyah means intention. I made my intentions to make Hajj. And I said, I want to, inshallah, God willing, I want to do the same thing that he's doing, hug that Kaaba. So, alhamdulillah, praise be to God, I went ahead and was able to make the trip the next year. And so when I went there, it's very emotional even to this day to even think about it. It's like when you see the Kaaba for the first time, you have some prayers, you make sure you have a prayer list. I had a prayer list, but when I put my head up, I looked at the Kaaba. It was like people were just spinning in 1,000 miles per hour to me, and then I started crying. And so then I went closer. Things slowed down, and I got back to it's very majestic. I don't know if people experience it, but I experienced it. So fulfilling my 5 pillars of Islam was outstanding. I did Umrah in combination with the Hajj, and then I did 2 additional Umrahs later on to Mecca. So I went to Mecca and Medina. Saying I want to go to. I don't want to go to Israel and see the Masjid al-Aqsa. Too much stuff there. Too much drama. But I like to go to Ethiopia and see the 4th holiest city in Hadara. That's where the 4th holiest mosque in Islam is at. I want to go there. But for me, it was I had the money, I paid my debts off. You got to pay your debt, you got to be cleared of a lot of things. Not everything, but the best that I could. And And then it's just drinking the Zamzam water and doing the tawaf. Every time it's just you see so many people of different races and cultures and backgrounds, white people, black people, Asian people. You see everybody praying and stuff. So that really did something to my heart. I saw a few people there in Medina that were white Americans that I knew in the mosque before, and they reverted. He married a sister from the Middle East, I believe, and he was there, and I seen, it was just nice to see different people that I actually know from the States and stuff. So yeah, if you can do it, do it, and it will change you a lot. It makes you think about things, and and you come back with a clean slate. All your sins are forgiven, and you start like when you did your shahada. So you come back at it with a clean slate, and all your sins are forgiven. So you start over. Very beautiful place, very beautiful time, and inshallah, God willing, I look forward to more. I want to do another Umrah if I can. Umrah is a lot simple. Hajj is more chaotic and things, and more people. So I like the Umrah. I love the Hajj. I love the Hajj.
What's like the first, like your first, when you first step, like when you first face the Kaaba, like what's your feeling like? Like,
yeah.
Because a lot of people talk about that.
Yeah, it was very emotional. When I went to the Masjid Haram, which is the Kaaba, there was a guide with us from my tour trip from America, and he said, "Keep your head down. Do not look at the Kaaba until I tell you to raise your head up." So as I was walking, I see people to the left and to the right of me, right, left and the right. They was crying. There's from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from here and there. And then we got to the edge of the steps, and I had my prayer list with me, like I said. And I started to cry as I went there. And then he said, "Lift your head up," and then went bam. And that's why I said it looked like everything was going thousands of miles an hour. People were just spinning to me. It was all white, you know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, I started reading from my prayer. I said, one thing that I said, I prayed that I would make hijrah, inshallah. I said, I prayed that I make hijrah one day. And look at me, I'm here in the Gambia, making hijrah. And so I prayed for a lot of things. All those prayers have came true for me. And so, and it was just that way. And then finally we went to there, and I made my tawaf. And then I hugged the Kaaba like the guy who did it right before me, the last Ramadan before me. And so it was very beautiful for me. So yeah, you can't. There's no words that can express it. To be honest with you, it's just the house that Prophet Abraham built for Hajar and his son Ishmael. His son Ishmael, beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I was just, so. Inshallah, I'll make more trips, and I pray that you all can make a trip like that. Even if I don't go, take my place, and you go instead of me. I don't mind. I've been there a few times, so alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, I'm also looking forward one day, inshallah, to visit there.
Inshallah. Yeah.
Definitely, want to thank you for your time and doing this interview with us once again. How can the people contact you on social media, YouTube, anything that you want to give out?
Oh man, nothing. No, I'm just kidding. No, you contact me on the Happy Companion, which is at Happy Companion on Instagram. You can contact me on the Happy Companion, or on Facebook. You can hit me on Saeed, Saeed, Said, Ced, Abubakar, Abubakar, or you can hit me up on the Happy Companion Books, happycompanionbooks@gmail.com, happycompanionbooks@gmail.com. And also, when you come to the Gambia, make sure you take a tour with me. Go to Kuta Kinte Island, okay? Do all this, I got a few businesses popping up. So it's the Happy Companion Tour is discovered the Gambia. So shoot me an email, and that's how you get in contact with me.
And congratulations on that new business endeavor.
Thank you.
Definitely. So guys, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends and family. How can they reach us on social media?
Mandinka Family on Facebook and the Mandinka Family on IG.
All right, guys, so we'll see you on the next video. And until then, don't forget,
Black love is black power.
See you guys.
See you guys.